And back down we go. But it pretty much turns immediately toward a ladder, so why not? And we have a save point, but also a newspaper. There's a newspaper on the ground. It's stained with something that looks like blood and is partially illegible. The of a man later identified as Thomas Lumberjack, age 39, was discovered in the Omlying Fa. The probable cause of death as multiple stab wounds to the front of the neck and the left side of the torso by a sharp-edged weapon. The estimated E of death was somewhere between 11 p. and 12:30 midnight. Due to signs of struggle in the room and the lack of a murder weapon, police are considering this a homicide and have opened a murder investigation. Furthermore, given the fact that the cash in the room was untouched and Mr. Oro had a history of drunkenness and violence, the police act that Tiv was not robbery of crimo eon. That was informative. At this point, you really want to have the shotgun ready. Make sure you can go ahead and reload it, too. Newspapers are scattered all over the walls and floor. There seems to be nothing of interest. But this one has today's date. That's kind of strange.
Daddy! No!
Well, we know that voice. Yep, there she is. And she has a friend. If he gets close, just start mashing buttons to get it to drop you. You can occasionally make it stumble like that, but still just keep out of its way for the most part. Whatever you do, don't underestimate its speed. And also, don't forget to reload. This thing is called the Abstract Daddy, and it can be rather annoying. But there, it's gone now. Or, well, dead at least.
Are you okay?
I'd say that's a no.
Angela, relax.
Don't order me around!
I'm not trying to order you.
So what do you want then? Oh, I see. You're trying to be nice to me, right? I know what you're up to. It's always the same. You're only after one thing.
No, that's not true at all.
You don't have to lie. Go ahead and say it. Or you could just force me. Beat me up like he always did. You only care about yourself anyway. You disgusting pig.
Angela.
Don't touch me! You make me sick. You said your wife Mary was dead, right?
Yes. She was ill.
Liar! I know about you. You didn't want her around anymore. You probably found someone else.
That's ridiculous. I never.
So, yeah, kind of a whole bunch of plot just suddenly happened here. First off, we found out the cause of Angela's trouble. It seems, by piecing together what happened in here, as well as reading that newspaper article, it's pretty safe to assume that Angela was abused by her father, probably both physically and sexually. So, she obviously has some trust issues, and who can really blame her? But also, she seems to think James is lying about Mary. There is a good bit about James's story that doesn't seem to add up with other things we've been finding out here and there. So, what does it all mean? We'll just have to keep continuing on to find out. So, first we need to go in here. Rather gruesome. So let's see who all we have here. His face is covered with a piece of paper. There's something written on it. This man was hung for the crime of kidnapping. Justice and revenge have been served. So apparently these are a bunch of criminals, each one having committed a different crime. This one was thievery, arson, bodily injury, counterfeiting, and, look at the face, swindling. The important thing is to keep in mind which crime was where in this room. Running down the hall and checking out this door on the left, we enter a similar room, but all we have are hangman's nooses. Only the sinless one can help you here. Mistakenly pull on a criminal's rope, and your reward will be returned to you in a shape most wondrously strange. Basically, it means, if you get this wrong, you have some monsters to fight. Wonderful. It also mentions the sinless one, meaning somebody was executed wrongly. So here's the riddle, at least the easy mode version of it. He committed an evil crime. He turned a happy home into a pile of ash. For that he should die. This being said, we can pretty much determine the arsonist was guilty. They also committed crimes. They tried to fraud and trick others, so their reward too is natural. This would seem to indicate possibly thievery, counterfeiting, and swindling, methods of defrauding others. Even he cannot be forgiven, my friend without his left hand, and so his death bothers me not. This would seem to relate to bodily injury, someone getting their hand chopped off, so we can assume that's guilty. And what of him? He also is not sinless. There is only one here who is innocent. The missing child was nowhere to be found, and so there was no proof of his guilt. His death was a tragedy. So the easy mode one pretty much just goes ahead and spells it out for us. Since there was no evidence of the crime, the kidnapper was falsely accused. That is all I wish to say. It was neither justice nor retribution. So thus we need to pull the hangman's noose that corresponds to where the kidnapper was in the other room. And that was over here. So with that set, we need to go back. In his place we find the key of the persecuted. Thus we can continue on. You can't turn the handle unless you first remove the handcuffs. How fortunate that we just acquired a new key. Time to move on. Back down we go.